Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Welcome everybody to the StarLadder CIS RMR. Excited to be here. With you, Matt. With you. I'm joined by Sadakist. He's back.
What's
going on, brother?
Not much. Yeah, this is exciting. This is kind of fun. I kind of got my feet wet with some hosting last week, which was pretty good because, you know, all I had to do was ask people who actually know what they're talking about. And this time around, we're going to see if I even remember how to cast Jason, but I think you'll be able to hold my hand and we'll get through.
I'm not going to lie. When I got done yesterday, we had a 5 overtime game and my voice was gone.
Yeah, that's
I
ridiculous.
made some food and I opened my mouth and it disappeared. I had no voice whatsoever. So you might be carrying me today because my voice might just disappear again.
That is one of my concerns, that I'm actually, my voice training is just gone now.
It's true. If you don't use it, you lose it, and I'm experiencing that right now. So we got to get our voice boxes back in shape. Either way, got a fun day. Had some good matches yesterday. A lot of overtimes yesterday. A lot of close games yesterday. And now we're going to kind of dive into this action today with one of the most competitive regions in all of Counter-Strike at the moment, Matt.
Yeah, I think it's incredible that the CIS region has done so well in the last year. And I think it's amazing, especially that Gambit's jumped to #1. That's a team that obviously won a shock, very different roster, obviously, but an organization that won a shock major in 2017.
Yeah.
Hobbit was always someone that I really liked as a player, but he went through a massive slump. They rebuilt. They didn't even have a main team. They were called Gambit Youngsters forever, and now they've just like resurged out of nowhere, and they're absolutely killing it. And obviously, Nafany's been someone that's a point of interest in the community with his recent podcast on HLTV Confirmed. But that said, I also think Navi was on the brink of finally perhaps having an era. And then the pandemic hit, we go to online, and they kind of lost that chance. Like Navi's like constantly been like top 3, second place. They've been in so many major finals. I think 3 that they've lost in. And they just never got that chance. But overall, this region has showcased some young talent, some new talent, players that we kind of always see every now and then, and now it's really good. I mean, yesterday was prime example. Gambit had a tough time. I mean, you casted that game against Najima.
Yeah,
or Namiga,
Namiga. Yeah, they showed some cool things. A lot of young talent there. A lot of young talent and a team like Entropiq as well, also busting out of Kazakhstan. Excuse me, that's the wrong team entirely. But yeah, they showed some good things too. In their matchup as well against Team Spirit, unfortunately taking a loss. They had that crazy 5 overtime game. The other team that we're going to be seeing play today, this is the Kazakhstan team, is 100PG. The players who actually upset Virtus.pro, which is a pretty wild thing to think about when you consider how good Virtus.pro has looked. That's a team that some of the top 10 teams don't even enjoy playing. That's a tough team for them to beat. So yeah, your point about young talent, we saw it here on day 1, and we're hoping we're going to see it all throughout the week in this round robin group stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And Virtus.pro is another one that was kind of interesting to me because I saw them, I think, at the end of 2019 in Budapest. And they were getting better and better. And then obviously James coming over, you know, when they picked up that sort of organization and brought them on board. Yeah, they're an annoying team. Remember, they had a decent run as well at the last major we had in Berlin, where James was one of the standout performers. This is a look at our schedule on Group A, or I should say on the main stream. There's not really a Group A, Group B in that sense, but it's on the main stream. There's 2 simultaneous streams going on. We start with Entropiq versus the PingGods. 100PG. I like that they have a different logo here because the HLTV logo looks like quite a copyright infringement, if I'm completely honest.
You're so tilted. You can't get over it.
I was like, how are these guys allowed to just be 100 thieves from another country? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but it's fine. I can live with this. I can live with either, but it's like, I just don't know how people get away with that. That's all, you know, all these Millennium Copyright Acts and things now. So yeah, this is what we're going up against. And like you say, Entropiq, this is a team I don't know as much about, I'll be completely honest, but I've seen some of their results. I know that Chad Kruger is a fan because Nickelback is part of this team.
There we go. There's always a Nickelback joke everywhere you go.
Well, what concert costs 45 cents?
That's funny. Yeah,
50
you got your
Cents
Nickelback.
featuring Nickelback.
Yeah, that's not
There you
bad.
go. Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
I don't think anyone has. Trust me.
Yeah, either way, this team, from what we saw yesterday, the people to kind of watch out for in my mind, Elian actually with the AWP was really impressive. Nickelback played a solid series as well. He's fun to watch, but other guys like Forrester, like Lackey, Crad, they all have their moments. But for me, it's like Elian and Nickelback were the two heavy hitters, at least yesterday. Didn't get to watch 100PingGods, obviously it was casting, but a great upset over Virtus Pro. Iceman had a good game, a good series there against VP. So did Smiley. Both of them putting up some good numbers against a very, very top team. So some impressive stuff there coming out of this squad. And frankly, I'm just excited to see them play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kazakhstan's been a region that we don't often talk about, all these main European countries.
Yeah, by don't often, you mean like literally never.
I know, but that's the thing, because think about it. That Gambit roster that won the major was a Kazakhstan core, and they've had players like Mo, they've had Hobbit for a while now. Like, they've had some super skillful players dating back to 1.6 in Counter-Strike. I mean, I almost feel bad that we don't give them the credit they deserve, because they definitely belong in Counter-Strike, and they have a passion for it. I love... I almost want to go there, because like it's a small country-ish.
I do too.
Decent. Yeah, but like they have a Counter-Strike culture, which I think is really cool.
And I think the city of Astana is supposed to be beautiful.
Well, yeah, Astana Dragons. Let's go back to that, right? Like
we're getting very far off topic here, but yeah, I would like to go to Kazakhstan, so we'll figure out a vacation at some point. Dust2, Nuke, and Overpass going to be the three maps. Nuke is a map that went into 5 overtimes yesterday for Entropiq. They ended up beating Spirit on it. They took it at the end of the day. We're going to be well versed. Dust2 is a map that 100PG likes very much, and Overpass is the third map that 100PG beat on against Virtus Pro yesterday as well. And Virtus Pro do not, there are no slouches on that map either. So that's a very impressive victory to take in overtime against VP.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no question about that. And I think that, yeah, when you look at this is, I guess this has kind of always been a CIS thing too, though, right? Like, we know the main teams that we see in the European series from time to time. You've already named a few here: Gambit, Na'Vi, Virtus Pro. But there's always this other scene in CIS that we don't see as much in the Western sort of coverage, if you will. Even on HLTV, they cover the matches, but not a lot of the articles and things. And we don't see a lot of English streams for them. But there's some skill here, and there's some teams that are, right there with these guys at times. Certainly when they play each other. I think that's one thing as well. The CIS understands their meta. They're a lot slower, so they match up well against each other. Whereas when some of these other lower teams play the Western teams, they get smoked because it's a different meta that they're not as familiar with. But the point is, like, Na'Vi, considering they held out on players for so long, you kind of got this Russian, Ukrainian, Kazakhstan mixture of players right now, but yet it seemed like there wasn't, because like it was kind of like Sweden, where NIP didn't change players for so long that the young players just never got that breakthrough, and now we're starting to see a little more of that, which I think is really, really important.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you nailed it too. I mean, the second tier of the CS region doesn't get a whole lot of attention, but there is like a very dedicated like fan base to this region that is always like wondering why they're not getting the credit they deserve. And obviously, this online era has allowed us to kind of see why there's been such a dedicated fan base to it, and actually see these teams able to compete and step up and be in some of these big events. So, yeah, that's generally just why I've been excited about this about casting this event altogether, is just seeing some of these squads now. The crazy thing, Matt, is when we look at the standings for actually the entire RMR points going on, it's Spirit at the top of it, which you wouldn't necessarily expect considering how good Gambit's been this year, considering how good VP and Na'Vi have been as well.
Yeah, but so this is where obviously I've been away for a bit and I didn't follow every little detail. I'll be honest, the online era, if we're calling it that, has been a little bit tough to follow, because there's a lot of LANs, but when you're at a LAN, that's it. That's where this team's playing this week. Whereas the online, they've kind of been able to play multiple at the same time, and it's difficult. So there were some points carried over from last year, if I'm not mistaken, because obviously the major was still kind of planned. So I think that's part of the reason Spirit.
Yeah, that is partially. I think a lot of them, I can't actually, I'm fuzzy on the details of how many of the points actually got reset. It might have frankly been all of them. Just because of all the delays. So that's something I definitely need to look into and nail down. But
I looked at it yesterday on Liquipedia because it seemed like it had the best table to see all the points. And it looked like they had some carried over. And like you say, Gambit's had an incredible year this year, but last year they weren't that's the thing with them. They kind of, as I break things on my desk, they kind of broke out of nowhere. And as a result of that, because we carried over points, they didn't really get many last year. But this is it, Jason. We're about to cast Counter-Strike.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm very, very excited. It's a great way to start the day. Krad's going to push up on Catwalk. Duke Fishura. That's a mouthful. He's going to be down to 1 HP for the rest of the round. And Krad, he's got Alien beside him as well, peering up towards top mid, keeping his flank clear, and ready to help out his teammate if he gets into any issues.
Yeah, and Land's going to try and push through and get the information for him as well, based on the fact that Krad's already had a slight engagement. But this is where they can slow it down. Bomb's actually going to rotate all the way back already. So they kind of get into a stalemate in the B tunnels. Keep in mind, pistol round, they do have one smoke that's on the bomb carrier. And the fact that there's been no contact towards Smiley at A, okay, now he sees it at platform. That's pretty inevitable. But that's why it looked like they wanted to go back this way. But there's been no action on either bomb site. Timing is everything. This could be huge. Because even though he doesn't spot the bomb going toward long, oh my God, are you serious? Dear. Are you serious? He misses the 1 HP player by that little, but knife out. Oh, he has to hit that headshot. Now he's not going to know there's a second player CT, and Duke's going to find the kill. That should have gone the other way. That should have almost been round securing from Elin, and it's so difficult in Counter-Strike, the timings when they work that way, and Lack's going to try and hold off B at this point in time. I really think 100PingGods are kind of running out of ideas.
Yeah, that was an odd timing. It felt like that someone made the call to kind of start that engagement towards the B bomb site. Glock versus USP at the back of the platform, and now over towards long. But there's only one flashbang. They don't have a smoke at all for this, so they got one flashbang to force Nickelback off the angle, and then they can have their way with it. Dropping a smoke, dropping a nade, not quite yet. If he can find the timing on that, it'd be perfect. Flank coming in up Catwalk as well, and Nickelback just waiting. Ready and waiting, and that's a headshot, and that's the pistol round over to Entropiq.
Yeah, it has to be. So going to try and build up some bank here with a few kills at the end, but no bomb plant down either, which is pretty massive. Good hold from Nickelback, actually. You mentioned him from yesterday having a good game. I like that late smoke, held his utility. We talk about a little bit of utility on the T side, usually in pistol rounds. CTs go for a smoke that time as well, and that's just enough to deter the take and allow the rotations to come in. And I mean, look at this. Forrester knows all he has to do is focus that cross. His teammates got coverage. He doesn't have to rush the play. Swings out. Brilliantly done.
Yeah, and without a smoke, he's got all the options available to him. And you could see they paused after he took that first fight. They realized they had to stop and actually take the battle. A little bit of damage onto Krad out towards long A. There is one scout picked up by the attacking side. Now, maybe not super important to note, these teams have actually played each other 3 times this year over the past few months, and Entropiq has won all of them.
Ooh,
in fact, they've only dropped a single map, but that was Dust2.
Dust2. Okay, fair enough, which is where we are. That's perfect. I actually haven't seen... We didn't see Dust2 once last week in Gamers Without Borders. Okay, I shouldn't say that. We saw it in the show match, but that's a little different, I think. That
counts. They all count.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry to have taken that away.
We saw Cobble as well.
Yeah, we did see... That's right. We did see Cobble, which was not the same Cobble of old, and I don't like the current one, but let's not get into that. Very passive setup from CTs. Obviously, they don't want to risk too much in the guns. We did see... Elan going for the mid pick with the scout, but that's exactly where Winter's going to go at this point. They're just PingGods seem like they're not. I mean, we haven't seen. It's hard to say yet. We haven't seen a ton of utility. They're less worried about tactics, but more about map control. They seem to just kind of inch away at information and get as close as they can. So if they can get a rush on the cat here with the 2 smokes that they do have, there might be a chance they can isolate the back of the site. You've got MP9s in that position, mind you. Forrester is way over in B with the M4, so he'll be good on the retake with distance, but Krad's going to try and get a little closer down at CT middle, realizing now it's going to be a split. So that M4 is going to come into play, Jason. That distance is exactly what they need out of it. 30 HP for Forrester has to fall off of it. Soro's already got Krad down, so 1 less on the rotation. Forrester's... You can tell he's being a little scared because he doesn't want to give away the M4. Now he has. Good entrance through the window, and I think this is the save. Just get out with the scout. 2 HP. Look at the HP on the other side. That's how close it was. But just I think Entropiq's got to get more information than that. They seem like they're on their heels.
Yeah, they were sitting very far back. They were content to just let 100PingGods have whatever they wanted to execute, knowing that the utility was going to be low most likely. But I mean, again, they did everything kind of right there. Lackey, when they realized it was going to be a B split, he pushed up into upper dark and cleared it out and made sure no opponents coming from that direction. M4 inside of the bomb site. They had a pretty long range, a wide crossfire setup, but I mean, the kill on Lackey and Halls just came so fast. They never actually got to spring the trap. A good entrance from 100PingGods, and that is just straight CIS style. Take a little piece of map control, sit and wait until the clock runs real low, and a plant with 6 seconds on the clock.
How much did we used to see under the Zeus leadership Na'Vi miss bomb plants? Like time would run out on the round.
Oh, Matt, it's still happening. Even without Zeus. We can't even blame it on Zeus anymore. It's a law of nature.
Okay. Well, I was being optimistic that it might have changed. Apparently not. Understood.
No, I mean, there's a lot of teams in this region that like running the clock down. It's a pretty dicey way to play the game, but it makes for some exciting moments down the stretch. Great shot from Smiley. That's the scout taken away from Entropiq, picked up by Lackey, and not a whole lot of opportunities given over. And out long A, this time they have the smokes for the cross, and they're not going to slow down. They've got 2 people already applying pressure.
Pressure indeed. As they keep sneaking up long, smoke at the cross, pretty easily covered. Span through it with the AK, but Winter wants to go. It's Duke instead that finds Crad. That's going to open up more space on the site. Lackey's got to sit right back with the scout and try and find a shot bomb. Smiley has it. He's the last to cross. That smoke's going to dissipate, and they need to get there soon, or at least throw the bomb over. Finally, they'll clear the site. Smiley takes the initiative, and I think at this point, round done. So 100PingGods is going to go up 2-1. They convert the ensuing round now that they have guns, and they don't give much away either. So, yeah, going to be a situation here where, once again, the CTs are going to be pretty limited in the next round.
He sees the toes, yeah? Nope, not
Apparently
anymore.
not.
Yeah, got his eyes ripped out of his skull. Another good shot from Smiley. So, pretty standard, pretty easy anti-force round for 100PingGods, taking long, smoking, crossing, handling those fights very well. 2-1, as they're going to take the lead in Dust2 after losing the pistol. Nickelback going to just try and keep this Deagle and armor in hand, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Although, 100PingGods really have no incentive to chase him down. They can let him have that Deagle, and who cares? So, maybe he does, Matt.
I mean... yeah, he's got armor. He doesn't want to give it away anything right now. We're just gonna chill. I think we're just gonna let that one go, Jason.
We'll let it go. All right, well, this round, at the very least, some upgraded pistols for Entropiq, but don't have the money to invest in all the fun toys of grenades and smokes and flashbangs and armor. Smiley had a couple nice bangers. Look at this one. Just sees him peeking right at the end. Forrester trying to line up a deke shot across the map. We have a Zeus on Forrester, so
yes,
shock watch.
Is that what you're calling it now? The shock? Oh, you mean we're on shock watch? Got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Got it.
I was taking it for a test drive. It doesn't have to be a thing. It might not work.
It's okay. Yeah, no. As long as it rolls. Duke Fishura is going to take down Nickelback this time. Iceman out toward long. Corner smoke. He wants to try and open up his angle. Look toward the car. 2 men stacked there, though. That's kind of interesting at this point. You've got 3 Molotovs, in fact, on the T side that could clear this. So if a Molly goes there, forget the element of surprise and trying to think that they don't need to clear that angle anymore. That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that they're going to kill one. And the second one will just go unnoticed. But yeah, Molotovs would absolutely destroy that plan. It's going to go up Catwalk instead, though.
Yeah,
so even if they're there, it may not matter.
Yeah, so is going up Catwalk is going to destroy that as well. That's not a fun angle to take fights against, Galils and AK-47s. And there's one spotted out. Iceman's got the first kill. So, I mean, everything according to plan about this kind of bait and switch over at Car. But, yeah, once they come up Catwalk, that's not an angle for a fight. 3-1 for 100PingGods.
Seen a lot.
None of them have 100 ping.
Well, that's why they're not gods, okay? That's why they've only beaten them
10.
once. Nice shot.
Except for Duke.
Every time you say Duke, I just want to say Duke Nukem.
We can do that. We've changed people's aliases before on command.
Question is, has he run out of bubblegum?
That's a good reference. That's an old reference.
Yeah, it is pretty old, actually.
Although
Duke Nukem 3D is on the Switch now, so it's not that old. It's still relevant in some ways.
Okay. I didn't actually know that. I might have to bust that one out.
Yeah,
really
I saw it in the store the other day, and I was like, whew, might buy that. Take me back to being 9 years old.
9 years old on a crappy PC. AWP in the hands of Elian, and as well on Smiley. He's going to take the long pick. He's got the spawn for it. Ooh, and he takes some damage and is just going to get away.
Milligan's going to go back down again towards Catwalk. We saw him aggressively in mid doors on pistol round, but now that he's on the scout, he's going to try and peek once more. No one coming up middle yet. There's not really anyone looking at doors, so the fact that he's hard scoped down toward lower, which I understand, but he has to be aware of this angle because no one has information if he was getting creeped on right there.
Yeah, there's timing. No one can spot anyone. No one can keep space on Catwalk. And yeah, you could just see him slowly backing away even though no pressure's applied. Also, important to note, there's no flashbang. There's no smoke for Elian. So typically when an Opera has this angle or anyone, we of course see them take a shot, drop a Molotov, give them the cover to fall back towards railing. If Elian feels too much pressure, he's not going to have that option available. Molotov comes in. He backs away automatically. It's pretty deep. He wants one shot, and he's got it.
Absolutely nails it this time. Duke goes down, so opening pick for Entropiq. Krad's going to try and take over the platform as a result of this because they're going to rotate the AWP back toward car. This is a standard meta. Try and get the pick early, rotate the AWP toward the car. You've got an anchor at long. Nickelback holds it. This lets Elian be able to rotate and take his battles, but Krad needs to be so careful on the site because he's burning alive. Manages to get one before he goes down. That's a job well done because now Ely comes back in with the AWP. And no one's to drop down at CT. That's the one thing that used to deter that. I think you go back, Jason, here's another Boomer reference. It's crazy we have Boomer references to CSGO. TSM days when Cajun B played that car with the AWP, right? Anyone who dropped down, yeah, I know, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's still on my mind. But yeah, anyone who dropped down, that was the one thing that deters the AWP at the car position. So no one went for the drop this time, despite the Krad was cleared, and time is going to run out. I think that we need to have like a CIS drinking game, right? Get some vodka, time runs out, take a drink.
That's dangerous, but I like it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
3-2. And that's the kind of round you exactly need out of your Star Opera if you're Entropiq with Elian. You don't have a whole lot of utility. You need this op to ring out, and it's got, what, 2 kills, including the opening. That one right there. No flashbang on top of that Molotov. You've got him, you force him back with the Molotov, you put him out into the open where a flashbang can absolutely wreck him, and it just never came. Gives him a free shot. Duke thought he was safe ducking beneath the bullets. He was wrong.
Yeah, I don't usually argue with bullets. I'll argue with most things, Jason, as you know, but bullets,
I do know.
Not one of them. So Duke will go toward Catwalk this time. Again, not a lot of presence inside. Well, this time there is a bit more presence from the CTs, but not a lot of looking for information. So it's going to be Lackey that's going to be the one to step up. MP9 try and sacrifice. Ilya cannot hit the shot this time, but same setup. Krad's going to move out. This allows some positioning to allow the AWP to fall back to car once again, but no utility on top of it. And interestingly enough, 100PingGods don't take the fight with that. I would have thought no Molotov, at least go for the trade. Like if they can figure out Krad's rotation point every time.
Yeah, well, I mean, they went for it. They went to try and punish Elian on the fall back, and they just didn't expect Krad to be there at railing, too. He just is able to pick one off. Ooh, and one more battle to win for Smiley. And 100PingGods staying grouped up and just moving from Catwalk now to mid. Yeah, changing their options, but it doesn't seem well thought out. A lot of utility in hand. There's still 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs for 100PingGods to use to get entrance. Plenty of flashbangs as well, and Sorrow's going to watch for the jump through the smoke. 3-on-3, but Lackey's on his own. Just an SMG who goes down as well. Utility not needed.
Yeah, not at all. This time, bomb gets planted quickly and easily, and you have to make a decision now, Entropiq. It's 1-round deficit, about to become 2. At what cost? AWP in play, I think you're holding on to that. You're going to back off. Nickelback stays a little bit more aggressively because they need the op more than the M4. Obviously, they want both, but he's just got position to give information. And Sorrow's actually already past that cross point. This could be interesting because he could swing potentially and take the fight toward Ilya at this point.
I think that's the hope of Entropiq right now is they actually have the op. Ooh, they had the op trapped, right? They had the M4 on Catwalk looking towards mid. They had Elian with the AWP looking down towards mid from the long cross. And so the op has nowhere to actually go, although he is safe from the bomb blast. But they were hoping that they could keep him pinned down and maybe take that out towards the end of the round. Unfortunately, Winter disrupts that plan. So 4-2 for 100PingGods.
Winter disrupts a lot of things as a Canadian.
Yeah, even as a Michigander.
Yeah, Michigander? Is that what you guys are? All right.
That's what we're called. I'm pretty sure that's what we are.
Definitely. I mean, fair enough. As a Nova Scotian, you can also be called the Blue Nosers, so
ooh,
it's fine.
We can, yeah, there's a story behind that one. I'm assuming it's Frostbite related.
No, it's actually the Blue Nose, the schooner, like the ship, the fastest schooner in the world.
Don't even know why I asked.
Yeah. No, it's not as interesting as you were hoping.
Smiley misses a shot, and they're going to transfer over now, or fall all the way back. Actually, they had plenty of people lined up to take advantage if he was to get that pick. Probably just walk into the B bomb site from there and decide to readdress to the other side of the map. Duke and Winter still holding lower and upper dark as Iceman and Smiley make their way back through T-spawn. An aggression from the defense.
Yeah, finally a bit more aggression. Ilya, remember in the pistol round, went all this way and got nothing for it. This time he'll find Iceman. So using that op, I mean, you might as well. If you're going to play it, there's two thoughts. One is you turtle around it and you keep it again for the next round, hoping it comes back out. But instead, they want to get the opening pick and make something of it. And now they've got two. That's a worthy trade. Nickelback takes the aggro from Soro. Ilian comes all the way back around from Catwalk and is able to find the kill. Lackey now gets information toward middle, and Ilian's gonna. I like this guy. I'm a fan. He's gonna stay going aggressive. He's keeping it mobile. He's keeping it active, and he's actually realizing now that he's pinching the map off quite well. And that's gonna. Oh, crad! That's so frustrating. Hit the headshot, got the dink. Nice shot from Forrester to follow up though. So Duke goes down. This is winnable. They've got an AK. They don't have kits. Keep in mind. Picked up a Molotov, and they still have that AWP. So Forrester, if he can Molotov, okay, goes for platform, interestingly enough. That'll allow him access. I thought if he went for default, he might be able to hold the plant off for a little while, but by taking out plat, that gives Ilian the chance to peek from tunnels because he knows he doesn't have to deal with the most dangerous spot. And now Winter is breathing heavy, and Forrester's going to find him. Very well done. Ilian played brilliantly that round.
Yeah, that's great. Again, exactly what you need out of your star upper. He wins the round, not single-handedly, Forrester actually with the double kill, but those 3 frags are huge. And 100PingGods, I mean, it felt like they actually kind of started to let that one slip away early on. Pretty individual, losing a player to that push up mid from Elliot, and then also the long player kind of taking his own fight and basically 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3 towards the A bomb site. He's getting picked off. So whittled down with what felt like no real plan of action. It's here that Sorrow starts to make his move and just gets dropped. An uneven trade. He gets 1 USP, the op gets a full AK-47 and a brilliant clutch. So Entropiq's still in it. And they showed some resolve yesterday in their matchup as well. They had to win a lot of low economy rounds in order to be able to stave off Spirit at various times. So that's just something that they're very used to doing actually at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still impressed with that round. I think that was great. I think that was fantastic to see.
There's a lot. I mean, you want to talk about young talent in the CIS region. There's a lot of really talented oppers and really exciting oppers to watch in this tournament. This whole week is ops are going to be on display.
Yeah, and I've heard, well, Safi, some people are saying, but Safe, double F, double E, Brazilian young guy as well is looking really, really promising. So it seems like we're getting a lot more oppers back into the fold, which is something I think that kind of went away for a while. We had like these flashes in the pan, right? Like these moments of brilliance from different people, but no one that was super consistent for a long time. Obviously, Zywoo was an exception, right? He came out of nowhere and he's been an absolute god. But we see, especially in North America, I feel like there's always this big hype over an opper and then it never really sustains itself. So, yeah, it'd be cool.
Not just oppers.
Fair enough. I wasn't going to get into it because I'm sure you are depressed by it. But, yes, it's very cool to see the op being played more aggressively as well because we haven't really seen that. I mean, we have, but not since like 2015 standards, right? When the nerf, that was when it was at its absolute peak in terms of aggression. Sorrow's going to open up this round. Crad, second off this time, frustratingly gets a leg shot, and that great eco is going to lead to nothing. Lackey's down to 5 HP in a 1 versus 4. They're already surrounding him. So at this point, economic damage as he gets 2 guns out of their hands, but it's not going to amount to much. They've got more than enough to buy on the other side. And once again, Entropiq will have to save.
They're going to have some kind of investment. There's going to be a certain level of investment into this round with Elian at 54 and Lackey at 44. Maybe just some deagles and armor. Maybe they drop some pistols over to their teammates. But yeah, this is unfortunate. Again, just, I mean, they have a defense. It's just getting pinched from too many angles, and their defense wasn't actually strong enough on the extremities. They were pretty weak on Catwalk. It was a pretty passive setup on Catwalk when they also had someone playing at elbow. And eventually those 2 players just get pinched. And when that Catwalk player goes down, no chance for that elbow player, the Gandalf player, to respond in any way. 5-3 in the favor of 100PingGods.
Gandalf, man, don't throw names at me. I barely remember. Okay, let's keep the calls really simple before I turn into Corey Dunn.
Well, I'm sure we'll get there at some point this weekend. You said you were forgetting a few spots the other day.
Man, I had to look up Mirage callouts again. I was like, what is that? Oh, jungle, right? Jungle, got it.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Knew it started with the J though.
Yeah, because how could I ever forget Jaden?
There we are. There it is. Reference number 1. We'll keep a counter.
Yeah, race cars and Jaden. Those are the two. Well, Duke Fashira just trying to play around at mid through the doors. Did see one lovely Deagle headshot through the... Actually, I'm not even sure it was a headshot because there's so many graphics now. I think it was just a wallbang. Either way, we saw one through the doors already on that eco round. Soro sneaks around the smoke and has position in pit. No one aggressively at long this time as well, which means they have to go more aggressive toward Cat to make up for that, and that's exactly what Krad's trying to do. Alien also being adaptive. On the AWP goes behind the car, Smiley gets him. So T-sided op wins the battle between the two. And now they really need to do something on Catwalk, otherwise they're just absolutely going to get pinched and outplayed on the A site.
Yeah. You can understand it, though, after that success that Elian had with the AWP in the previous save round. He was trying to be a hero again. And here's that aggression on Catwalk in mid. Lackey transitions over. Krad had a pop flash from Nickelback to take Catwalk, and that smoke's going to be a little bit late. They're not going to respect it, and Nickelback didn't expect it at all. Duke in middle, handling business. He's got all the information. Couple of kills and trying to add a third onto his ledger. Brad's going to go down at any moment, and 100PingGods starting to build into what looks like they could run away with this half.
Yeah, it actually started. It is. I mean, the problem is the economy is never stabilizing. It's pretty impressive to me as well that 104 ADR right now for Alien, just based on that one round. Obviously, he's got a few other picks on the AWP, but Forrester with 8 kills only has 64, for example, and the rest of the team just not pulling the weight. But Winter's having a great start to this game, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's loving it. 10 frags over there on the T side. Miley's had some nice shots. He got 1 kill on the cross in mid earlier. Almost another opportunity. And that's a lot of information. And you can see that's why Iceman, Sorrow, Duke, they're picking up their pace out towards long. Already starting to peer through the cross. Not even with any smokes because they've seen so many bodies cross over to the B bomb site. So Winter is about to get a bit more action. He might actually want to start thinking about getting the hell out of Dodge. I know it's only USPs. I know it's only unarmored pistols, but he's going to start getting surrounded.
Well, they're going to start moving away from this a bit. Forrester and Lackey getting a bit more aggressive. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to save this time. Get Gut, a perfect example. And now the T's are forced to chase that. Smiley's got a good position. Couldn't do anything about it, but I think Duke, did he get both? No, he got 2 at B, so he didn't get the AK. AK is still in the hands of Lackey, and it's going to make its way back over to this position.
Not
but they're
for
going to
long.
be ensuing, exactly. They're going to be trying, again, there's more to lose from the T's, but getting that one gun down, exactly that, and not losing anyone if they can do it, that's worth it on its own, especially an AK in the CT side. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to take utility out of the hands and even head armor out of the hands of the Entropiq side. Not that the head armor really matters at this juncture at the moment. But so far, so good. 100PingGods looking very solid. Entropiq not looking, I mean, they were, you know, not looking as good on this map, although they struggled with it yesterday, if I remember correctly, against Spirit as well. It's not a great map for them at the moment. Let me bring up that Spirit game. And yeah, Spirit wiped the floor with them, 16-9 on Dust2. So their woes continue on this map.
Right, Jason, I've done a thing. I opened chat in VMix, and I don't know how to close it now. Luckily, it doesn't take up all of my screen, but
you can just refresh. I've done that. It's quite annoying.
Okay, I'm not gonna refresh. Maybe at halftime, because look, I'm not the sharpest point on the Maple Leaf, and if my extra chromosome continues to act on my behalf, I'm not gonna be able to cast this game. Good start for this round as they get very aggressive, and once again, the trade's going in favor of 100PingGods. As they march into the B site this time. Soro's going to plant well behind that seems to be their default. Is that getting more normal? Are less people planting sort of wide underneath the window?
Yeah, they still both happen, but I mean, yeah, I don't think they really cared where they planted in this particular
Yeah, fair enough.
round.
They have the whole site, right?
They kind of had it won by the...
Look, I'm trying to be analytical, man. Give me a chance.
Yeah, don't do that. No, you know. Play to your strengths, Matthew. You're a talker. Well, now's a good time to refresh VMix if you'd like.
I'm doing it.
Nice.
I've done it. There we go.
Good. He's back. 8-3 as the T side just keeps racking up rounds. They're going to evacuate away from the bomb. No issues. Sorrow's even going to survive over at the car. And Nickelback and Elian, they're going to keep their guns alive for the next round. This is just straight up Oh, yeah, these are actually very tough trades. Not even having a smoke in that door. That's actually pretty incredible. They won both of those fights. Nicely done from 100PingGods. I feel like that's them abusing the fact that they knew that the economy was going to be a little bit low in terms of utility that the defenders would have, and just finding a way to contact and bully their way into that deep bomb site can be a very difficult thing to stop when the T side is gaining a lot of momentum and having success all across the map.
Soro in a battle. This time Nickelback's going to win out long, so they get the important piece. We have to talk about long. Look, mid is a very clear mid in Dust 2, but it's all about the picks early on, and you can't really challenge it in the same way. We talk about long being that position the CTs especially need to win and have control of, because now they just have so much more information on the A side of the map. They can start to rotate back off, and we're going to see that now. Back through mid tunnels, interestingly enough. Catwalk is open. But with Lackey and Nickelback both covering off the doors, this should give them a pretty decent read of exactly what 100PingGods are looking to do in the round. And they're going to boost back up onto Catwalk. All of them making their way in that position. Interesting enough, aliens toward Goose. That's a tough position to be in. Yeah, I think he's even second guessing himself right now. He's not sure where he wants to play. Ramp's probably the smartest to avoid utility. But remember, he's got the 20 bullet M4A1S to play by himself. That's why Nickelback's slowly going to bring himself back into the picture by getting the AK out. But they've lost Crad at middle, and that's going to make things a little bit more awkward.
They can't sit in this position. They're in a lot of trouble over at A. This is an impossible task. If the split comes in, once the long players swing, if they're a bit more aggressive than they are right now, that defense crumbles. But because they're being so slow, it's actually giving time to Lackey to rotate over and shore up this defense if he can get there. But someone has to address long. And if it's Nickelback at railing, that's weak.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge problem. Duke's already in. Winner's going to take Nickelback down, and Duke will double up and clear out Goose. Again, if you're going to hold that long position, you almost have to be efficient. You know, you got to stay alive. You've got to be able to anchor it and hold the T's off. And even though the rotation did sort of come in, it's tough to get up that ramp and find position if they can get the kill fast enough. So good take again from 100PingGods. Forrester's going to run away and just kind of, you know, hang out. We've seen Forrester for a while now, by the way. This is a player that's kind of been another one of those guys, again, in CIS that I'm sure in that region, everyone knows him by now, but we just see him every now and then, and he's always been a guy that's been fairly decent when we do, to be fair.
Solid. He's
so wait, does a Forrester cuts down the Forest, right? He's the guy, so that would be bad for Patrick.
Yeah. Oh, that's there. You. This is why we needed you back. That's a connection that I would have never gotten. I would have never gone there.
I mean, it's just an ER on the end of the name. There's obviously a connection there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some people just notice those things. Other people, like myself, we don't notice it at all. That's the kill that might have actually collapsed this round. I think Entropiq actually had a really decent chance of it, but once he pushes and goes for that flank, that's when long is open, and that's when you put your A players into an impossible situation. They either like stop and just hold their positions the way they did, or they have to make the decision to re-aggress together out towards long or re-aggress towards Catwalk, both of which have really long paths of where you can just get caught out in the open by any number of nades or at awkward fights. And Crad going down there really, really exposed his teammates.
It's nice to see, you know, via webcam into some of the players' homes, see what kind of setup they're on. Oftentimes, you know, we see LAN and LAN only, but now we're seeing vape and Coca-Cola. It's nice to see some of the setups at times, especially 100PingGods where they're not on a team. Obviously, you can see with Entropiq, they're all in a room together and they have a gaming office, so to speak. But I think it's cool just because it gives people at home a chance to see kind of what other people's setups are like and pro setups are like. And maybe there's no excuses. Maybe your setup's way nicer than theirs. And you've got this sick desk and your RGB chair and your gaming socks, and you have no excuse to miss your shots.
Gaming socks. Keep them toes warm. Extra cushion on the toes.
I have Logitech socks.
Why?
Because they have grip. They have grip on the bottom for sim racing.
Is it just, okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was like, are they just like the Christmas gifts or something, or are they like actual gamer socks? Or like
yeah, no,
socks?
they have grip for sim racing, which is kind of fun.
Perfect. Well,
listen, man, you wouldn't get it. You're not a sim racer.
Sock technology's come a long way since the last time I invested. 9-3 and out of long is 4 players from 100PingGods, and only one Duke over towards lower dark, watching the flank, watching the other side of the map. This time, Entropiq is controlling Catwalk and 2 players peering long from the bomb site.
Nickelback's going to just chill.
Yeah, again, it's Crad who's the one kind of the point man on Catwalk, and he seemed to hesitate whether he wanted to stick around.
I feel like they're struggling to get enough information. Like, again, oh, okay, that's a decent shot. Considering they push through, Ilian tries to go for a double up as he swings out wide, but Sorrow's too close. And Nickelback had no means to cover him at that point. Lackey annihilated. This is just an aim battle at this point from 100ping. And you're right, Crad loses out the battle at long when they anchor him. And then he goes to be the one on the catwalk. It seems like he's the point man of the riflers at A, and his task is literally to get the information in those situations. And he's either hesitating or dying when he needs to.
Well, I think it's not like all on his shoulders. They do seem just kind of uncomfortable in general. I think part of that is like, look at this defense they're selecting to kind of play out is them in the bomb site and on catwalk for the entirety of the round. There's just a lot of map that 100PingGods have given to them right out of the gates. And that's a long time. These rounds are a long time to have to play if you know your opponents already have long for free, already have dark, already have catwalk for, they can be so many places. Good pickoff from Elian to start the round. This would be a good moment for him to have another heroic effort.
Duke, 2 in that smoke. If he can find them, we snap away, and Nickelback has found him in return. It's Lackey that's going to get a second one on top of it. So even though that kill came way back out toward T-spawn, this is still being a bit awkward. Crad still alive in that smoke toward Gandalf as well. See, I remember where it was. As nice. Sorrow and Iceman are going to be the only 2 left toward A, Jason.
They've got 2 Molotovs for this position as well. And yeah, there it is. That's unfortunate, but Krad's got a smoke Molotov to delay the plant. Now that can actually give him some angles to peek out and peer into this bomb site. So things should slow down. Oh, great shot from Lackey. That's from Catwalk. Now it's all on Sorrow with the AWP, and he's got 1. Transferring over. Ooh, that's a long time to go without a gun. Has the AK-47 in hand. Yeah, nerve-wracking, wasn't it?
Yeah, underestimated the distance, I think, there, but the AK is exactly what he needs, and Sorrow didn't even consider the fact that he could still be playing for the peak. That's a bit underwhelming, I have to say, in the 1v1. That was a round that was desperately needed, and they will get it on the Entropiq side, so well done, at least, from Crad to pull one back, but that could have been very awkward. You're right.
He thought he had, like, Go-Go Gadget arms on that one. He was trying to pick it up from, like, a mile away.
Maybe that's what we need. The grav gun from Half-Life. We'll just transfer that right over to Counter-Strike. You just pull a gun toward you.
Ooh, there he is. Smiley with his second kill through the door of the half. Auto snipers as well. Oh, Duke might be in for a rude surprise. He thought he might have had an easy passage with that pickoff, but did not expect it up to be posted up and ready. You know, Matt, a lot of ideas for things of Valve to add into this game are crazy. I'm on board with the grav gun.
Yeah, grav gun would be dope. I'd be all about it. Shoot saw blades and barrels at people.
Yep, it's beautiful. Cut them in half, like zombies.
That is pretty badass. Nickelback this time out towards side pits at long. Ilian's going to try and take the aggro away here, but they've got a good read here. Winter's been checking it non-stop, and as soon as he swings out, that's when Nickelback also steps wide, so catches the aim out slightly. AK, I don't even think fired a bullet in that exchange. And it's the 1-man advantage for Entropiq after also losing Winter and Duke. Forrester's gone down on the CT side, and things will stagnate for a moment. They're actually going to reset this and try and take the bomb back over toward B.
Yeah, well, there's...
To be or not to be.
Yeah, well, they're going to run into an AWP when they get here. Lackey just posted up at the barrels on platform. You can see a sight line there. And I don't think if you're Iceman and Smiley, you don't really want to use utility here quite yet, although they are going to throw out a lurk smoke. That's not too much of a giveaway, although with 20 seconds, they might jump on it. There's the shot. Neutralize him, and they have to come to this bomb site. Delay tactics as the Molotov comes in. Lackey's still waiting, and there's Crad making his play off catwalk. He's got 1, Elian with another, and Lackey with the final. 11-4.
That's a big round. That's a must-needed round to get to 11-4. You're absolutely right. And now if they can win the pistol, remember, they won the pistol in this half.
I know.
They lost the eco, right? So we're still seeing that a lot in Counter-Strike. Like, that statistic has been something that's really prominent over the last, I'd say, 3 years now, that, like, winning with pistols is becoming more and more and more common just because of the complexion of teams trying to go for either SMGs at range when they needed the utility or vice versa. So, yeah, it gets a bit difficult.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of factors, right? I think everyone taking the game more serious as the years went on, and now, I mean, those are treated like gun rounds to a certain degree. I think the economy being a little bit more forgiving allows you to have those upgraded pistols with armor with utility as well, so you can create more opportunities and options for yourself. And yeah, they're deadly, they're brutal. Deagle's very strong, quite obviously.
Smiley engaged upon in middle already. Nickelback and he trade blows, but no one going down all too significantly. Smiley does leave with 62 HP. Winter's gonna press, but Crad already has Smiley, and they're up. Catwalk, he's giving his head down. Get me out of here. Just let me crawl toward the site. Sorrow's got Forrester. That's a big kill because now they control long. They can actually pinch, but it's a 4-on-4. And this is an interesting battle tactic because all 4 go back to Cat. If they get this kill on Duke, they know there's 2 at long. This is going to be absolutely run that bomb. And Elliot even stays to cut off the rotations, and that might just be enough for them to win the round alone.
Yeah, they were so committed to that flank up catwalk. They expected Entropiq to already be in the bomb site planting it, and when they get up, they realize the entire team is actually just at the corner, ready to turn around, and all of them take the fight. So bit off more than they could chew on the flank with that commitment. And yeah, at least, I mean, it's nice that Entropiq's won both pistols, but it's also kind of an indictment of the rest of the gameplay when you see that they're down by 6 rounds. Even with that being the case. Matt, they haven't strung 2 rounds together this entire game so far. This is the best chance.
Yeah, that's not so good. That was my Borat. That was my Kazakhstan reference.
That's pretty good.
Very nice. Crad's up on Cats, and it's Duke Nukem that wants to try. Oh, good flash. Not the greatest aim, but gets 1. He knows Crad's in the corner. Smoke down from his teammates, almost frustrating. Because he wanted to get that second kill. Bomb was there. Got to smoke a little deeper, perhaps, to hold him off. But Nate coming back the other way. And I think they're going to boost Cat. Are they going to boost corner to try and see over it? No, they're not. That would have been foolish with Iceman still in middle as Lackey would get him down. Sorrow sneaks behind the door. And from Sorrow to Horror. That doesn't rhyme with horror at all. But I was going to say he gets 1 more kill. Look, I'm still getting used to things, Jason. The wordplay will come back eventually.
I think it was great. You had to give it a little bit of like an Eminem twist to the end of it. You went for too hard for the W. Here we go, yeah. Winter. All the pressure actually leaves them. I thought they were going to commit to that, but they wanted nothing to do with that deagle. Now, all 3 players of 100PingGods are on the B side of the map. They want to find Forrester. They're okay with the other player going anywhere else, jumping up onto the box. This is the time to bounce. Oh, he missed it. He missed the chance. He's got good damage. They're all a scout or deagle shot away from death. The opportunity is still there for 100PingGods to turn this around, but it's going to be tougher than they wanted.
I'm going to try and make this work, though, because they're coming up catwalk. That's where a lot of the early damage was done. Remember, Forrester drops off. They'll hear that, so they know he's on the ramp. Box instead, though, changing his angle. Scout, he's got to be careful. He's got to hit that headshot soon. But instead, Winter's got Crad.
Yeah, Forrester can't win this round. He's out now. So it's just going to be a 12th round for 100PingGods. He's going to let him have the defuse and try and keep this AK-47 in hand. With the plan, he's going to get that bonus. So it's all good, I guess, in that sense, but losing the round is painful. The trend continues. They haven't won 2 in a row.
I was just about to say that. Again, they give up the subsequent rounds, so don't often win maps if you can't put them back to back. In fact, it's statistically impossible. Oh, wait, is it? No, because if you won the first round, it would alternate until round 29. I don't know. Someone smarter than me figured that out. I don't think it's possible.
Wouldn't it just be a tie if you just alternate?
I think it would hit 15, right? It wouldn't hit 16, 14 because you're never 2. Yeah, it'd be 15, 15. Yeah. All right, cool.
We got there.
Back to the game.
Back to the game. Woo.
Just trying to think of like offsetting rounds. Maybe there's like a way, but no, there's not. Never. It's not possible.
I think it always ends at 30.
Yeah. Yeah, math. You can never be 2 ahead because you'd have to win 2 in a row. Yeah, math.
Well, Smiley has hit some bangers throughout this game. With the op, with the scouts, he's opened us up again. Alien falls at double doors. Or excuse me, all the way up. At the alley, and Smiley gonna go for more. Ooh, he's got it again.
That's foolish. This guy mid-doors starting to think it's his territory right now, and he's gonna do more damage again. And it's not quite on Nickelback, but he'll get chased down by Iceman and has to retreat back behind the box. As Crad continues to creep up toward Catwalk, it's Rail on position right now from Sorrow, and he peeks first. Nearly got the jump on the shot, but couldn't do much about it. As Crad takes him down rather effortlessly with the AK. It has to be dead, and they'll spot Duke's head. Duke's trying to do Insane back up to the site with the M4 at range, but already he's looking to back away and wait for his teammates to rotate it. Nickelback versus 2 has to be a trade here. At least a trade, and they'll do exactly that. Okay, I thought they were going to do one better as the camera snapped away, but Nickelback does manage to at least take down Iceman. Makes it a bit more awkward. Krad just barely got the gun drawn after throwing the smoke toward Catwalk and does get the headshot on Winter. They know exactly where Duke is, and although this is low HP, which means they're both in 1 bullet potential of the M4, Krad smartly is going to use that smoke for coverage and try and pop out, but Duke's got both, and just like that, 100PingGods are going to find yet another round.
Wasn't even necessarily played poorly by Entropiq, just good shooting, and maybe they missed a shot there at the end, but that is a nice flick over from Duke to win the 1 versus 2. Fair play. Oh, this is brutal now. 13-5 in the favor of 100PingGods, and they are running away with it. And you know, this is like too much freedom to give Smiley. Not a lot of utility in his face to make him feel uncomfortable or nervous. Just constantly allowing him to re-peek. It was nice to finally see Nickelback take the responsibility to just swing and get that kill and just be done with him. But he had way too much freedom in middle for the entirety of that round before that.
Look at this mid-cross. Desperate to get over. They get the AWP to at least trade if someone does shoot back at them. Smiley ready for the battle and absolutely nails Ilian again. Stop battling this guy at mid-doors, Jason.
Yeah,
get another one. Oh, I thought he was.
At least now they've used that flashbang. They don't have a whole lot of resources, though. Like, Forrester could use a pin smoke, but that's the only smoke they've got. So, I mean, the question is, where do you want to end? Because your next play, if you're Entropiq, is your end game. And it looks like the only real option they'll have is a lurk smoke towards the front of these B tunnels and just kind of contact behind it. But I don't even know if that can even work. 2 players here. They're going to be spamming through the smoke. Winter's going to be ready. If you're Entropiq, you better get real lucky. And that is not a good start. That's not a good follow-up. And Winter's still alive. But Entropiq does get both kills.
That mouth smoke was just perfect. Winter used that to his advantage as best he could, but somehow they let this turn around. Back to a 2. Make that a 2-on-1. I was going to say 2-on-2 as Lackey finds Sorrow. The last 3 peaks came 1 at a time and absolutely no trade. Smiley has it all to do in the AWP, and in fact, he thinks better of it. He'll go over to the rifle. Low HP for Forrester, and Lackey's going to be the one to plant the bomb, interestingly enough. Typically, you'd let that be the low HP player, so you can at least battle when they try and come in. Double peek, they know his window. Tried to get the trade off. Sees one head, but can't get the shot, and that's well played. Entropiq at least using their teammates well in that situation.
Yeah, Forrester having a tough time with that low HP. But you're right. 100PingGods, they let that one get away from them. They have that round 1. You stopped the B hit. You stopped the contact play behind the lurk smoke, and way too many solo fights without utility coming up that ramp towards the double doors into halls. And that's basically the only way Entropiq could have won the round. So 6-13, they bought a lifeline and another chance here, Matt, to get 2 in a row. They're going up against the Scout on Smiley and Deagles.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought he hit that the way that we switched the camera quickly out of his scope. I thought he actually nailed that through the door. But he didn't. It's all right. Everyone calm down. You're getting out of hand, chat. This Krad's going to get a smoke deep again toward the mouth. Molotov behind it as well. No, excuse me. That was a flashbang. So just wanted to make sure no one's going to push through as Forrester gets set and ready at lower tons to see if there will be a push with pistols. Bomb intentionally dropped it long this time, and that's exactly where it looks like Entropiq will start to accumulate themselves. And it's Lackey that's already at the dumpster, but interestingly enough, 100PingGods are actually going to start to stack long, so better hit the shots. Alien starts off with 1. Lackey's the closest up. He sees the body along the wall, and they can hear them running down. They're going to try and capitalize with the rifles before they can get to CT, and perfectly done. Krad even finds one with a MAC-10, so a little bit more money. That still has Catwalk to worry about last 2 players. And, well, they lose a gun.
Ooh,
they might get away with that gun.
I think they will. Yeah, I think they're going to. There's not enough money, really, for Entropiq to feel motivated to hunt it down. They could just send the MAC-10, though, on Krad. And, I mean, you kind of got to know where they've ran off to, especially now that Nickelback's cleared the B bomb site. So, yeah, here comes Krad with that MAC-10. Desperately going to try and keep this M4 alive. And with this win, Entropiq's going to be up to 7, 6 rounds behind. It should be a save in the next round for 100PingGods. Pretty much a full save. So a chance to close this gap a little bit more, and then we'll see how Entropiq's feeling if they're starting to build up into a comeback.
Yeah, they won't get that M4 back. They changed round time because it's so much quicker at the end. But yeah, they get it out of the hands of 100PingGods, which is just as good in some ways. Forrester will hold on to the Galil once more. Jason?
Yes.
They won back-to-back rounds.
I know, they've done it.
That's insane.
It's miraculous. You said my name like I did something wrong there, and it got me real paranoid. It got me real worried. My heart skipped a beat.
Jason, see me after class.
I know. Please report to the principal's office.
So Liam with a quick shot down to doors, almost a preemptive strike, knowing how quick Smiley has been on the other side. Doesn't want to get caught off by anything at all, really. Lackey is going to light that car up like a 1950s gangster. As Smiley will come back around the corner. USP in hand, so they're taking a lot more control of the map now. Minute 14 and already up long. This is ahead of schedule, you could say, for what we've seen in a lot of this game. 4 players from the CTs coming back out CT spawn, hoping that they're going to be up close. Lackey, 1 HP will stay alive. No guns grabbed or garnered from 100PingGods, and now it's 13-8 with 3 rounds in a row.
3 rounds in a row. Not too shabby. Just 5 back from tying things up, but another buy coming in for the defensive side. This was quite nice. The pause, the wait for the reaction, some easy kills against unarmored USPs at range. Elian's going to drop down and peek towards middle. Nade used to cross. And Entropiq is sending 3 players into lower dark.
Smiley already finds the opener again. That time was long. Lackey's body is, as you can see by the X on the minimap, inside the cave. It's the second map now that has it. Well, it's the first still, I guess. But there's 2 maps that have a cave call out, Jason.
Oh, yeah? Ancient's got one?
Ancient's got one. I'm excited. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I hope we get to see it a little bit in this because I haven't casted it yet. But just from watching it at Gamers Without Borders, I really like the way that it's starting to shape up. I don't think it's perfect yet, but I'm excited because it's actually really close to being a great map already, and it's still new. Sometimes that takes a while. I mean, how many iterations of Overpass did we get? Cobblestone, they changed around a bunch. Nuke, they changed it a bunch. Those are maps that were, aside from Overpass, had a history that still needed to be balanced. So yeah, I think they're reasonably close already as Iceman pops back from the window. He's trying to use him and Winter together to cover off mid. That's not the best smoke. I don't think he really meant to smoke himself. Because now he's effectively Duke's found one, and they'll get the round as Winter does emerge. Oh, Smiley, excuse me, emerged and got Nickelback on the AWP. So 100PingGods 2 from a win. And as you say, these guys have played each other quite a bit. They've not won a single map other than Dust2, and that only happened once for 100PingGods.
Yeah, that was the last time they played against each other. So I mean, this is kind of just shaping up to be exactly what you would expect out of the matchup. So I mean, we'll have to see if they can buck the trend and actually take another map and potentially take the series. Because at the moment, especially with Dust2 being the first map, they've got themselves in a prime position for a bit of an upset here if they can actually close this out, which I mean looks decently likely. Still a good amount of money though for Entropiq even after this buy. They've done a good job in this 3-round streak of building up cash flow. So still able to fight back and stay in this map. Mid control. This time Smiley is keeping his AWP out towards long. He's terrorized mid for a good stretch of this half. We saw him get the first opening kill out towards long. Now he might be able to have an opportunity at catwalk as he rotates back to railing. Because Entropiq has taken cat control, and they're starting to go through all the protocols of taking it safely. Forcing back anyone on the stairs. Flashbang to force back an AWPer. That's a good nade, though. Doesn't do nearly as much damage as you would have liked.
Smiley's going to rotate back down toward long as well. Smoke still dissipate. No one on the other side of it. Forrester definitely could be a factor in this still because if he can... they're actually going to go mid. This is going to be another mid split. Smoke CT as well, still in place for, I think, about another 10 seconds. And Soro, tight position to be in for him with the FAMAS. Has to try and push back through, and he's done it, but he's flashed off. So now top of the ramp. Back already going nice, and it's all on Winter, and he decides to go aggressive because he's hoping if he can hold them up slightly that Soro can emerge from behind. But that doesn't work out either. The HP has taken a hit, you have to say. The Entropiq guys definitely worse for wear, but clever positioning from Forrester as a result, and another bomb plant again for Entropiq this time. Mid seems to be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, well, that was I mean, a pretty easy you know, kind of fake it in a way. They pulled one player, maybe it was Sorrow. They pulled him from CT spawn just with that one rail smoke. They pulled him back from the CT boxes all the way towards elevator. And he was just out of position for the mid split, the mid to B. It works well. They even still had some difficulty getting into the bomb site. Entropiq, but make it work at the end of the day. So 3 players survive. Again, they'll be able to build up some money. They respond pretty quickly after losing. And I mean, again, the 100PingGods, they don't have the money to keep sustaining these back and forth rounds. So it's 9-14, and it's going to be questions of what do you want to invest around Smiley, if anything at all. So Entropiq still, even though they're behind in rounds, they're in an okay position in terms of the other factors of the game, still trying to get this comeback underway.
Totally doable, though. I mean, Dust2 is one of those maps that it's very streaky. I'm sure you can explain why more than me, but it's definitely possible. We've seen it happen all the time. Until 15's hit, you can't even, well, even then you don't want to let off the gas, but you can't get comfortable. Winter again tries to peek out toward long. Ilian's already taken down Smiley this time, and he'll continue to rotate that AWP into a bit more powerful position as he gets up toward Catwalk instead. Shot from Forrester. Ooh, that was like a second, less than a second, from being able to see his opposition on the other side. But Sorrow has Crad, and Iceman on the AWP manages to find another one. Winter, if he's clever enough, he knows where that Molotov was thrown from. You could hear that. So he knows there has to be a player on his right. A little bit hesitant, though, because if he goes through, he knows he's in a bit of a sandy well, and that's not exactly where he wants to find himself when Iceman can open up the backside instead. Now he's looking to open up an angle, try and get something from ramp, find a headshot as Nickelback goes to Forrester's there for the trade, but Chad Kruger's got it all done, baby. As he's looking at this photograph, and the photograph says it's 10 rounds for Entropiq.
God bless. Oh, man, I think Winter was beaten by indecision. He was in that choke point for so long, wanting to turn up, especially when the op gets the kill out towards the long corner. He still just kind of stays in that choke point, exposed from too many different angles. For a moment, they had Entropiq trapped. There was a real chance that retake was going to be successful. But we're right back at it. With the weapons out now, they're going to brush that one off. Ooh, Elian gets a lot of damage onto Iceman. 98 HP is dealt to him. But Duke gets it all. And he drops quick. This is a big advantage for Entropiq on this T side. This round 25 seems to be firmly in their favor.
Yeah, this is pretty likely, I think. Do have one kit in play still, just to make note of that if it gets that far. Iceman's the one holding it. But he's only got 2 HP. Probably could be better, you know? 2 HP is not great.
No, it doesn't feel good. You have very few options when you have 2 HP.
Take a
Smokes
Propitol.
cross.
Lewa. Sorry, playing too much Propitol lately.
Just never played it.
Oh, you're missing out. Well, maybe not actually. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. Smokes down Smiley, trying to spam through them. I think that's what you're gonna say, Jason.
Yeah, it was about there. I like this call from 100PingGods. I like this call to save everything. They were one player on 2 HP. They were kind of outmaneuvered on the map. They weren't in position. They kind of started to rotate early and kind of stack towards middle and B. And yeah, they just take this loss, but keep the guns alive because they just don't have money. And the surefire way of letting Entropiq back into this game, although I guess they've kind of forced themselves back into it already, is to take an ill-advised, fight or round or retake and lose all your weapons and your money. They've got $200 between all 5 of them at the moment. So they'll just get a rinse and repeat and get another chance for this kit in the next round.
So, gap now down to 3. String of 6 rounds from the last 7, two series of 3 in a row here, so the money bonus isn't built up. Actually, it is built up. It's massive. Excuse me. That's how it works now. So yeah, they've got the full bonus going in favor of the CTs at the time. And watching them be back out, obviously. He's saving it over in the last round. Krad's going to go aggressive. Forrester's found one. Oh, that's a huge kill from Forrester because Krad was a dead man. If Forrester goes down in that situation, it's likely a 1-for-1 trade with Forrester also gone, which means the CTs take full control of long. Instead now, Entropiq's got a great situation. Not as good now. Smiley gets the kill back the other way, and Alien trying desperately to find one more down toward middle. Knows at least a CT has gone toward tunnels, and already it looks like they're trying, well, if they can get this pick, Smiley, man, through the doors.
I think
He
Alien
is Hodor. That man is holding the doors.
I think Alien even saw it coming. Just didn't catch it in time. Smiley, this is all on him. Molotov down to force him off the angle he wanted. Prevent any kind of a boost to stop the plant. There is a kit on Smiley if they can get into this bomb site. But man, there's a crossfire. Obviously, Goose, Railing, and Car now to hold off this retake, and that's the kill that decides it. Smiley can't fight, and now he's at risk to not even being able to get away. He does find a gap with that smoke. Lackey wasn't peeking for the moment. Now he's on the hunt, but Smiley has made it into the B bomb site. So 12 rounds now for Entropiq, and they're back. They're in the game.
Yep, absolutely. That's a key round. I mean, I do admire Smiley. He's really trying to find openings where he can. And the fact that he has an AWP in this round on CT side, definitely. I liked Ilian's more dynamic style, I think, a little bit in the first half. But oh, well, never mind. That's gone now, too. Forget everything I just said.
Oh,
they can drop him one if they had to, or wanted to, I should say.
I think they're going to go for a half buy. I mean, yeah, you can understand why they're calling a timeout here. They got to talk over how they want to play this economy. Forrester looking down for the flashbang and peeking up as soon as it pops for an easy kill. And 100PingGods, they need to figure something out during this timeout. For a team, Matt, that didn't string 2 rounds together until round number 20. They've gone on a 7-1 run in the last 8 rounds to bring this within striking distance. This is a phenomenal run for an Entropiq team that I guess the only explanation we have is that they woke up a little bit late.
I think that's one way to look at it for sure. But obviously with 18 kills, I think it's also just Nickelback trying to remind us of who he really is. I'll let that one sit for a minute.
I know. I almost didn't catch it. I almost did not acknowledge in my brain. Oh, no.
It's fine. I usually put most of their music out of my mind, too.
Yeah, no, they're not. They didn't make a lot of great music. I'm surprised I've even caught the references you've had.
It's hard not to. It's burned into you.
From 90s radio, early 2000s radio. All 5 players out towards long. 100PingGods should probably know what's coming, considering this has been the go-to anti-eco, anti-low buy for Entropiq. Smiley's going to get there just in time, but he sees one already crossed. Oh, he's in trouble. And he's got spammed right through the smoke. That's the op on the ground, but Iceman can pick it up. Good 1D, and now he's holding on to Railing. And this hit does not have a whole lot of strength behind it. It's only 2 players. Krad's going back to mid. He's now gone down. And all of a sudden, Nickelback, Lackey, and Elian have a real tough task to do.
Lackey can... that's a bit desperate. They're worried that someone's actually wrapped Goose and is trying to push out toward the ramp, but Lackey didn't need to make a play there. He was kind of in perfect position between the utility. AK obviously shows tracers, but they get him the bomb. They throw it over. Nickelback goes down, so does Lackey. It's all onto Alien, and it's planted inside box. He can't quite see this from pit. Smoked off. They're going to double press. I'd get on that defuse right now if I'm them. Go for it. They pushed him back. Yeah, get on it. Get this over with. Car didn't even see it. He didn't even see Winter get there. That's a deagle kill on AWP. And just like that, 100PingGods. This is the problem with the first half. Great comeback. Things were starting well. But now, just like that, overtime point is secured.
They rotated over just in the nick of time. And Winter has himself around. He's at the top of mid to get a 1D to pick off Krad, who's coming around for the flank. Then he falls all the way back. He finds an off-angle kill here by the smoke and this little jump up. Oof. Well, 3 chances to close it out. 15-12. Smiley's got his op at the long corner as well, exactly where this battle's going to be. He's legged 1. That's Lackey. Can they get anything done even with the high damage? Forrester is still alive, and a 1-for-1 trade. You're going to be happy if you're Entropiq with that 1-for-1 and long control.
Forrester still sneaking inside smoke, looking for any utility that's down on top of the body. Nothing there. One of the 3 kits that were in the round is on the ground at long as well. There's enough. There's one on either side of the map right now as we still see Winter hanging out at B. He's got the M4, and the rest are going to try and push mid to retake Cat, I would imagine, at this point in time, because they know Long is gone. And they need to get toward A, but Krad's timing could be crucial here. No information from a push on Winter. He's been peeking the tunnels. That's it. And AK, easy headshot. He's going to run back now as well. It's a Molotov in position. This just buys more space. That's when Winter has to push. And he did exactly that. So at least they pull it back to a 3-on-3. But that's information that at least 3 players of the 5 that were up, now 3, were at mid and B. So get your move on toward A. And that's exactly what they're going to do, is the smoke down Gandalf, wrap around Iceman, trying to get back in from Catwalk. They even cover off Railing, and he'll watch the wide side to make sure no one can rush up toward Goose too quickly.
Oh, the run boost across. Nickelback trying to take point. Flashbang is easily spotted by Iceman, and now this is falling flat. Although that nade, ooh, it's brought it right back. 2-on-2, but there's nothing to cross with, and Iceman is going to be cold as ice as he shuts him down. Final 2 kills are his, 16-12.
Yeah, 16-12 indeed. And I'm pretty impressed with that at the end. They managed to hold their composure and get it together and shut down A. I think a lot of that run was actually started off by great opening picks by Entropiq, but a little too late. And just, again, I think there's a few rounds. Like, I love the CIS structure because we see the strategy and we're able to see them communicating and that slowness of it. But even in that last round, I mean, you get the information, you killed 2 well off the A site. Chances are, with them pushing B, they're trying to find information. So, I don't know. I think I'd go a little quicker toward A there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, either way, I think Entropiq, I mean, while they lose, it's a bit of a bummer. This has to be a map they kind of came in expecting. 100PG loves this map, more than happy to play it. They struggled against, Entropiq struggled against Spirit on it. They had to have known there was a good chance they were going to take a loss on this one. Obviously, the comeback is quite nice, but up next is Nuke. That's their pick that they get to start out on. It's the game they showed real good composure. 5 overtimes yesterday, coming out in a victory against Spirit. We're going to see how it goes, but we're going to see how it goes after the break. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the StarLadder RMR.
Я думаю, для нас, для 100PingGods, попасть на мажор уже будет, достаточно... это в рамках... Если все объективно, это, наверное, невозможно. Потому что в прошлом РМР у нас нет очков. В этом РМР надо нереально запотеть, реально показать уровень. И плюс следующий РМР. Конечно, шансы есть, но я, честно, этого особо не вижу. Конечно, мы к этому стремимся, играть против сильнейших. И этот РМР — это отличный шанс, чтобы показать, чего мы стоим. Наш минимум — это как просто показать нашу самую достойную игру. И даже если мы проиграем, то сделать это, отдав все наши силы. Наша команда особо, мы даже, если честно, мы к закрытым квалификациям особо-то не готовились. Мы просто играли в нашу игру. Но на этот РМР, конечно, знаю, какие команды будут. В основном это все топ-20, если я не ошибаюсь. И шокирующе, наверное, только что-то, наверное, на Ancient новое. Мы пытаемся добавить больше инициативы, наверное, в нашу игру. Чего-то прям нового, я думаю, мы не добавим. Но в основном это, наверное, просто больше тимплея на каких-то новых картах, вот как Ancient. Это все. Больше всего, честно, мы пока... когда с только мы готовились. Из остальных команд, наверное, я думаю, Virtus.pro будет и Entropiq. Потому что Virtus.pro мы достаточно часто следим за ними, как они играют. А Entropiq мы уже играли с ними до этого и, в принципе, знаем, как они играют на каких-то определенных картах. Я думаю, просто нужно уделить внимание на какие-то определенные аспекты. Вот, поэтому я думаю, это будет Virtus.pro и Entropiq.